Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at finding an equation from a table of values. So we've got our first value here, and it really doesn't matter what each of these variables are. Typically we'll use x and y, not a and y, but it doesn't really make any difference. So the first thing that I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at what's happening to this table up the top here. Because really what I want to make sure is I want to make sure that these are going up by 1 each time. This process isn't going to work if it's not going up by 1 each time. So just make sure that that is the case. So now that we know that our x values are going up by 1 each time, we want to have a look and see what's happening to the y values. So each time this is going up 4, and then this is going up another 4, and then this is going to go up another 4. So what that means is every time x goes up 1, y is going to go up 4 times that amount. So y is going to be equal to 4 lots of x. But that doesn't tell us the whole picture, because if I just did 1 times by 4, I don't get 3. So we have to do this little intermediate step here as well to work out how else this equation has been manipulated. So I might do this one in a slightly different color. Let's do this one in blue. So if I did 1 times by 4, I would get 4 as my solution, but I've got 3. So I would have had to take away 1 to get 3. Let's see if that's the same pattern for the next number. So 4 times by 2 would normally be 8. 8, you have to take away 1 to get 7. Okay, so we're starting to see a little bit of a repeating pattern here. So 3 times by 4 should be 12. We don't have 12, we've got 11. So we've taken away 1. And last one, 4 times by 4 should be 16. But again, I had to take away 1 to get that to equal to my answer. So the pattern that this is following is y is equal to 4x take away 1. So first thing we did, we checked that this was going up by 1 each time. Whenever x was going up by 1, y was going up 4 times that amount. To get that equation to balance, we then had to subtract 1. So let's do another example. Let's use this table here. So first things first, I'm just going to check that this value for a is going up by 1 each time, and it does go up by 1 each time, so I can use this process. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see how much y is going up. So it's going up 5, and then we're going up another 5, and then we're going up another 5. Okay, so these are all going up the same amount, and this is 5 times the amount that a is going up. So that means that y is going to be equal to 5 lots of a. However, that doesn't tell us the whole story, so we've got to work out also what's going on, or what we have to add or subtract to get that equation to balance. So if I did 5 times by 1, I should get 5, and I have to take away 2 to get that to equal 3. Okay, so 2 times by 5 should be equal to 10. To get that to balance, I would have had to take away 2. So again, this is following a pattern. 3 times by 5 should be 15. That doesn't tell me the whole story though. I have to take away 2 to get to 13. And then lastly, 4 times by 5 should have been 20, but we had to take away 2 to get it to balance to 18. So then the pattern that we're following here is we're going to take away 2. All right, last example here. So again, we're just going to make sure that this value for a is going to go up by 1 each time, and I can see that it is, so my method will work for this one. So this one now, this is going up 3, this is going up by 5, and this is going up by 7. So we can see now that this is not going up the same amount each time. So this value here, this is called our change in our y value, and we use this little triangle, change in. So this little triangle, this little delta means change in y. Now this is not constant, so I can't just write y is equal to 3 times by a or y is equal to 5 times by a. This is where it gets a little tricky, because this means it's a quadratic formula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the change in the change. So I'm going to look at the change in the change twice for y. So this is going up 2, and this is going up 2. So now that this is a constant, I know that that means it's going to be a quadratic. So this is getting tricky now. All right, so the quadratic, we're going to try y is equal to a squared. And let's see if we can get that to balance. So 1 squared should be equal to 1. I would have had to take away 1 to get that equal to 0. Let's see if that same pattern now is going to work for our next value. So 2 squared should be 4. Again, to get this to balance, I need to take away 1 to get that equal to 3. 3 squared is going to be equal to 9. And again, to get that to balance, I'm going to have to take away 1. 4 squared should be equal to 16. And again, to get that to balance, I'm going to have to take away 1. So this equation a little bit different to the previous ones because we had to look in the change in the change. So we had to do it twice. And if we have to do it twice, that means it's a quadratic. Okay, so I hope you found that video helpful. This was how to find an equation from a table. See you later.